Hello and welcome back to Let's Play Crusader Kings 2 Conclave as Scotland. So, last episode we managed to win both of the defensive wars we were in. One of them was, again, England attacking us over Cumberland. It's the fifth English-Scottish de jure war over Cumberland. So, again, I think we have the opportunity to strike back against them. This time we got alliances with the Holy Roman Empire and with the King of Sicily, soon enough most likely to be the king of France and Brittany as well, once the current queen dies. But they should help us out offensively against England as well. Which, let's see, yes they will. The council does not vote for it. We can probably just buy a favour to get that through. What we don't have, I think, though, is a good CB. We only have CBs over single counties. So what we could do is look for a claimant to one of the English duchies so we can get maybe 3 or 4 counties. Let's check out de jure duchies. Mercia is 5 counties and Lancaster is 4, but they're all under the same duke. So I don't know what the chances are of us getting claimants to any of those duchies is. Let's have a look at, for example, Mercia. Only one claimant who will not accept an invitation. Yeah, I think they're all going to have exactly the same claimants, most likely, since they've all been under the same character for a long time. We don't want to do anything about Wessex, because we actually have a member of our dynasty in charge there. Maybe we could try Kent or something. Alright, I don't think we can grant land to female claimants. We can grant land to him, though. And there is a female duchess in charge, which means we can press a weak claim. So we can do this, take Kent. Or hopefully take Kent if everything goes to plan. He has a weak claim on this duchy also. Also held by a female claimant, incidentally. But it's only 3 counties as well. And one of them's under Mercia. So I'm not sure if we'd end up getting that county. I think Kent would be the safer choice. Okay, I think we'll invite him, grant him the county of Atholl, and press his claim. Alright, and about the council, we're going to need to bribe somebody, or buy a favour. Most likely. These guys are returning favours to somebody, Duke Melise the Hunter. This guy, so I guess if we were to get a favour from him, would he come over to this side, and then these guys would vote the way he's going, and we get a bunch of people on our side? I'm not sure if it works that way. But maybe we'll try it out. At the very least, we should get him. He won't even accept that, and it would be very expensive. Alright, never mind. Well, I'm not so worried about the expense. We did just get a lot of gold from England. Alright. This Duke of Munster is not content with taking 400 or 500 gold off me to build a huge statue of himself. He also wants 343 gold for a favour, but I guess we'll spend it. I think we have to wait for a response to that. Okay. So we'll call in the favour. And while we have a favour called in, maybe we'll take a look at our laws and see if there's anything we want to change. And if we can get anything through. We don't want to change succession, so that's fine. We can't go to max centralization. I don't think we would necessarily want to. Marginal status of women we could get through. So we'd be able to appoint women related to us as spymaster, which we may or may not want to, but I think some of these later laws would be more worth doing. Otherwise, we could change obligations, which I'm not too concerned about, or we could try to wrest some power back from the council. I'd like to be able to revoke titles. That might be better to do, actually. It's going to annoy the council, of course. Maybe we'll just get the status of women one for the moment. So he's returning a favor, that's fine. We also have to wait for a reply from our claimant, who has just arrived. Grant him the county of Athol. I am granting him deliberately a county inside my domain because I can revoke it back from him later via a plot. So we lost our bishop from the council, that's fine. We still have a heretic county up there, so we'll send him go take care of that. Let's just wait for our law to go through, and then we'll probably just attack England immediately. Assuming people are going to support this. We have the ability to introduce our heir to the realm. As your heir is soon of age, you can choose to formally introduce him or her to the vassals of the realm. This can help build trust. It will certainly prove useful for the child in the future. Well, he's not actually likely to be the heir because of Tanistry, but let's do this anyway, since I haven't seen it before. You have invited your vassals to partake in a formal introduction of your heir, Prince Ewan. You will have to exchange many pleasantries and act in a very formal way, something that might be tiresome for someone as young as him. However, you have full confidence that he will not disappoint you. They will be here soon. He gains 5 prestige, okay. He also needs an education focus, so let's see. He's timid, affectionate, and an idolizer. So definitely not martial anyway. Learning would be the best thing, but it's not a very useful focus. I guess we'll go with diplomacy then. Alright, we have upgraded to marginal status of women. Can't change any crown laws for the time being, but we can declare our war on England. Do have more than enough people in our favour now, actually. I think with our new chaplain we might have not even needed to buy that favour. So we'll press his claim on Kent. Sicily and the Holy Roman Empire will come in. Which should make it pretty easy for us, but we'll raise all of our troops anyway. And as usual, we'll transport these outlying forces in by boat. In fact, the Kaiser still has some troops up here, it seems. So let's see, the Kaiser is not involved in any other wars right now, so he should be free to help us. Same deal with Sicily. I kind of expect Sicily to be of more help more quickly because they're all coastal and they can get on boats much quicker. Which the Kaiser has been historically pretty slow at doing. Apparently did not order these boats to do what I want them to do correctly, so look at them up here. Yes, I hope this war doesn't interfere with the introduction of our heir thing that's going on, but apparently it's not. Mayor Arthur of Ucteradar is a renowned, godly, and learned vassal of yours. After having introduced himself to Ewan, Arthur approaches you with an offer. Arthur is willing to spend some time teaching Ewan some of the more intricate parts of the Bible in exchange for your favor. We'll gain 1 learning, and he gains 50 piety, or we gain 50 piety? I think we gain it. And we'll owe the mayor a favor. We can lose piety and disappoint the mayor. And let's owe him a favor. I guess that's fine. I guess it was Ewan that gained the piety. What could he possibly do with a favour? As Ewan introduces himself to the mayor, he not only presents himself with grace, but also manages to impress Arthur by skillfully complimenting him. I taught him everything he knows. The mayor's opinion improves. Alright, so we've got 14,000 together. England has 6,000 heading to... probably heading around this way, maybe? Trying to catch one of these armies. Mayor Patrick of Perth is a renowned fighter and tactician. After having introduced himself to Ewan, Patrick approaches you with an offer. Patrick is willing to spend some time learning Ewan how to fight in exchange for your favour. At least he's not learning him how to grammar. But if I'd known there was going to be a whole round of these and we get to choose different stats, I probably would have passed up the learning one and given him martial instead. I don't want to owe Mayor Patrick a favour as well, necessarily. Having the martial is pretty good. We'll just do it. Favours for everyone. This couldn't possibly go wrong at all. Right, we're taking attrition here, so we want to leave immediately. In fact, we can leave even faster than this if we put some of these armies onto boats. Get them out that way. Alright, the Kaiser's landed 5,000 over here, which is kind of vulnerable. The Duke of Mercia has ended the elective succession in England faction, that's fine. I think we're getting updates about this because I've set my daughter here as special interest, which I probably don't actually need to do since we'll hear about her because she's our daughter anyway. Anyway, we'll leave it as is for the moment. I don't mind, I suppose, hearing about what's going on in England. It's probably relevant to us. So I wonder if we want to quickly transport troops down here so that we can help out Kaiser's army. Let's raise some more boats to do that. I think that's a good idea. I think that's more than enough. One cynical comment after another, I could not take it anymore. I even tried to bribe this courtier, the wife of our heir, actually, so that she'd shut up and stop firing cynical remarks at me. Stop it, please. As Ewan introduces himself to Bishop Ninian of Dunblane, he not only presents himself with grace, but also manages to impress Ninian by skillfully complimenting him. Okay, good. The last of your vassals have left, and Prince Ewan looks relieved. He is obviously exhausted from all the formalities, but having been introduced like this will hopefully serve him well in the future. I've done my best to groom him into a worthy heir. I see, this is because of our ambition to groom an heir. That makes sense. So he gets groomed to perfection until March 1223, giving extra prestige and extra vassal opinion. That's pretty good. If he was likely to actually be the heir, which he isn't really. But that's okay. I guess this doesn't fulfill our ambition yet. See him reach adulthood, okay. So we've been a bit slow getting down here. I think we'll just come around and land in Norfolk anyway. We may be able to fight a follow-up battle with a weakened English army, even if the initial battle is a loss. Let's check the supply limits through here. We're just about within them. Oh, it looks like Sicily's landed troops here as well, but that's probably going to be a defeat as well. Took an amphibious landing penalty and are at low morale, of course. We could just reinforce and try and help them. So I guess we'll do that. Oh, and looks like Sicily has inherited France and Brittany, so they are pretty powerful now. 20,000 troops available. Let me see, are these kingdoms likely to stay together? Sicily's on primogeniture. France is on primogeniture. Brittany's on primogeniture. So yes, they are likely to stay with the same person as it stands. So Sicily or whatever is likely to stay a powerful force in Europe. Okay, so we won that battle. We're hopefully going to get out before we take too much attrition here. Let's actually retreat in this direction instead. Munia Adavid, the wife of the Sultan of Mauritania, has been spending a few days in Gary. Is this our historical enemy? From down here in Iberia. They have the same dynasty. But I guess they're a different realm. Okay. Or... yeah, she's a relative of the Sultan down here then, I guess. Okay. And married to Mauritania. Anyway, she's been spending a few days in Gary. It's been a very nice experience meeting her. Maybe our peoples are not that different after all. Let's be friends with the Sultan of Mauritania, why not? Sounds fine. I think we avoided attrition there as well, which is good. So, Sultan Luki says, I am glad to hear you are well and that my wife's visit was a good experience. Unfortunately, in these times, pacts are broken left and right. And to avoid going back on my word in the future, I would rather not give this kind of guarantee. I hope you understand. That's a shame. But yes, I guess it's understandable. Okay, so we've got plenty of help from our allies here, so it looks like this war is going to be pretty easy. England has called in Norway. Okay. Where's Norway's capital? Oh, it's over here in Orkney. I think this guy, I don't think I mentioned this in any of the videos, we lost Orkney, I think because our Duke of Orkney ended up inheriting the Kingdom of Norway, which meant he couldn't any longer be our vassal, of course, because we're a king and he's a king. So that's what happened there, I think. But anyway, it wouldn't be this guy, I think it would probably be the previous king, or the one before. But we are fighting him, so let's see, he's got about 5,000. Shouldn't be an issue, considering the amount of help we have on our side. He has some troops there, but mostly just England. We'll wait for them to come to us. Our niece has finished her education in the ways of war. It turned out less well than expected. She's a misguided warrior. Well, okay. See if we can get any useful pacts or anything from her. So having a non-aggression pact with our vassal, I think, is not as useless as it sounds. I think that prevents him from being in factions. Though, no, he's not on the council actually, so maybe that's a useful thing to do. He's 60 though, so it is a bit gross. Also the Duke of Man. Sort by rank actually, so that we can see this a bit better. Alternatively, we could just keep her in court and try to breed some better heirs of our dynasty. Oh, she's actually not of our dynasty, so never mind about that. So we could get another betrothal with the Holy Roman Empire and make sure that we retain alliances with them. Probably important, actually. Sure. Alright, so Norway wandering around here. Got troops up here as well. I'm probably just gonna keep my army here in siege and let our allies hopefully fight these battles, if they're so inclined. Duke of Leinster has a revolt on his hands. And our Duke of Galicia is happier. I wish these guys weren't just sitting here taking attrition for no reason. That seems silly. They should go and fight these armies instead. I guess if they're just going to stay here in siege, we should probably go and fight England before they start sieging too much stuff. We'll finish our siege here first, though. And we can land our boats. Alright, let's get on board, and we'll land them not in the next county over, we'll land a little bit away from you. Over here, say. Because we're going to be at low morale initially. They're probably going to siege the top holding there, but that's okay. Constant fights and vicious pranks, my two children, John and Ewan, just could never seem to get along, but my efforts to instill mutual love and respect have finally borne fruit. This friendship will serve them well when I'm gone. Okay, sounds good. We have accepted a call to arms from the King of Sicily against Gian Leon the Cruel. Due to an alliance, we have no other choice. Okay. Who is this? Civil war for elective monarchy. Okay. Well, we might help him. I guess we should. But after our war. It doesn't look like a huge revolt, but it's decently sized. He may disregard our war and go home to fight that. But anyway, we'll leave this episode here. We're just about out of time and continue our war in the next one. So thanks for watching, and join me again then.